This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.
Westmoreland, a businessman shot dead. A man is dead and another left nursing gunshot wounds following a shooting incident at Cave in Westmoreland on Tuesday. Dead is Sheldon Kilburn, a 41-year-old businessman and owner of Cave Block Factory. Reports from residents are that shortly after 3 p.m., they heard about 10 explosions and then a bike sped off with men in masks. Kilburn was said to be working at his block-making business when the incident happened. According to reports, the workers at the factory ran to safety after seeing their boss's lifeless body. The deceased's wife, Paula Kilburn, told the news that she too heard the shots and told her daughter to close the door. Shortly after, she said she got a call from a friend who told her that her husband was shot. "By the time I run down here, he was already dead," she recalled. "How him coulda do so? He's so calm, such a calm man," she lamented. The wife added that Kilburn was a well-known businessman and he acquired the name pastor because he would oftentimes preach to the community members. The identity of the injured man is not yet known. And still in Westmoreland, woman fatally shot. A 27-year-old woman was shot dead in Westmoreland on Monday. A businessman was shot in the attack and has been hospitalized. The deceased has been identified as Sherika Gordon of Little London, Westmoreland. The businessman reportedly drove Miss Gordon to her home about 7:30 p.m. when two men arrived on a motorcycle and opened fire on them. Miss Gordon and the man were taken to the hospital where she died. St. Catherine man accused of shooting at cops charged. A man accused of shooting at a police team in St. Catherine has been charged. 37-year-old Dulcita Chin, otherwise called the Three-Way, a construction worker of Windsor Heights, St. Catherine, was on Tuesday charged by detectives assigned to the St. Catherine North Police Division with shooting with intent and illegal possession of ammunition. His court date is being finalized. The police report that about 4:05 p.m. on Tuesday, June 30, 2019, a police team was on operation in Chinatown in Windsor Heights when Chin opened gunfire at them and then escaped. Following an investigation, he was arrested and charged after he was questioned in the presence of his attorney. Cancel all entertainment events, MAJ president urges. A leading member of Jamaica's medical community wants all entertainment events to be cancelled, with the country bracing for a third wave of the COVID-19 infections. Dr. Andrew Manning, president of the Medical Association of Jamaica, believes that the risk of spread of the virus at these events is too high, telling the news that there is growing concern in the medical field about the decision to continue allowing large-scale events because just those events could become super-spreading events. That, he said, would negate any positive effect of the measures announced, that in reference to enhanced curfew hours and a reduction in the sizes of various gatherings announced on Monday by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. "I think at this point in time, I would rather they scrap the events," he stressed. Last month, the government eased some of the restrictions that had been in place for a while as infections dropped and various stakeholders, including those in the entertainment fraternity and some in the religious community, responded to that by urging the administration to be more lenient in its control measures. Dr. Manning reiterated, however, that it had always been the view of his association that this move was premature. The MAJ had recommended that the restrictions not be eased until the country had achieved a positivity rate of 5% or less for at least 14 days. On Tuesday, public health expert Professor Peter Figueroa said it was clear that Jamaica is seeing the start of a serious surge in COVID-19 cases, which could be due to the Delta variant. Councillor Kim Brown Lawrence seeking to be tried separately in CMU corruption case. Defense attorney Ernest Smith says he will be writing to the Director of Public Prosecutions seeking to have his client, Councillor Kim Brown Lawrence, tried separately in the CMU Education Ministry corruption matter. Mrs. Lawrence, Caribbean Maritime University president, Professor Fritz Pinnock, former Education Minister Will Reed, his wife Sharon, and their daughter Sharelle are facing fraud and corruption charges. Mr. Smith stated his intention when the matter was called up in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday morning. He said there is no end in sight to the court matter and that Mrs. Lawrence is interested in moving on with her life. He also indicated that the Jamaica Labour Party councillor, who represents the Brownstown Division, intends to seek re-election in the next local government polls. Bail for Mrs. Brown Lawrence and her co-accused was extended on Tuesday. They are scheduled to return to court on November 1. St. Anne's security guard murdered at home, girlfriend in custody. A security guard of Brittonville near Claremont, St. Anne, was shot and killed this morning at his house, and his girlfriend has been arrested. He has been identified as 45-year-old Orlando Webb. Initial reports reaching the news are that Webb went to the bathroom as he got ready for work, leaving his gun in his room. It is alleged that his girlfriend got hold of the weapon and fired several shots at him, hitting him multiple times. He died on the spot. The security guard reportedly worked at Champion's supermarket in Ocho Rios. St. Anne Crime Chief Deputy Superintendent Linton Brady confirmed the incident but declined to provide details. Jamaican indicted for illegally entering the U.S. following boat crash in Florida. A Jamaican man is among 4 persons indicted on a charge of illegal entry into the United States after a boat crashed on a seawall on Pompano Beach in Florida on June 17. 16 passengers were on the vessel. Marvin Morris Carradine, 42, has been charged with 1 count of illegally re-entering the U.S. after being previously removed for an aggravated felony conviction. According to the indictment filed in the Southern District of Florida, if convicted, he faces a statutory maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson has said that 4 of the 7 Jamaicans who were on the boat were linked to criminal activities in Jamaica. General Anderson said the Jamaica Constabulary Force was in dialogue with its U.S. counterparts to exchange additional information on the illegal migrants. More doctors being rehired, but some still feel disposable. More doctors have been rehired by the government following the non-renewal of their contracts last month. Dr. Mindy Fitz-Henley, president of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, reported on Tuesday that the number of doctors now without jobs has been reduced to 54. Earlier this month, doctors employed to the public health sector called in sick to protest the non-renewal of the contracts of 147 colleagues. Following discussions with Ministry of Health officials, a number of them were offered contracts. Dr. Fitz-Henley told the news that the doctors are now having mixed feelings about the reappointment, with some still having a sense of being disposable because of the ease with which their services were terminated in June after being lauded and praised for their work on the front lines earlier in the pandemic. That, she said, was not a satisfactory state of affairs in the profession, having persons coming back and forth, jumping in and out without job security. 181 new COVID-19 cases, 3 additional deaths. 3 more COVID-19 deaths have been recorded in Jamaica, increasing the tally to 1,182. The deceased are a 67-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 55-year-old woman from St. Catherine, and a 65-year-old man from Kingston and St. Andrew. And 1 more fatality is under investigation, moving that figure to 104. Meanwhile, there were 181 new cases, with ages ranging from 3 months to 95 years, pushing the total to 52,322, with 3,871 being active. Of the new cases, 107 are women and 74 are men. Kingston and St. Andrew account for the majority of the new infections, with 52 cases being recorded, followed by St. Catherine with 41, and then Manchester with 17. A total of 2,760 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 19.3%. In the meantime, There were 19 more recoveries, increasing the total to 46,911. Some 141 persons are in hospital, with 33 moderately ill and 23 critically ill. 14 persons are in government quarantine, while 46,947 are at home.
Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.